You probably know Poe's story, The Mask of the Red Death. But what if we've been reading it all wrong? What if it wasn't a horror story about a plague, but a philosophical sermon? And what if the one delivering that sermon was the Red Death itself? Let's dive into this really fascinating reinterpretation. Right out of the gate, the whole perspective is just flipped on its head. The Red Death isn't some mindless disease, it's presented as a philosophical force. It sees itself not as evil, but as a necessary no, a cosmic correction to a world that's just lost its way. And the number one example of that world? Well, that would be Prince Prospero. So yeah, this isn't a story about trying to survive a plague anymore. It's really a battle of ideas. It becomes this dark parable about the unbelievable lengths we go to deny a reality that, well, we simply can't escape. And here, the battle lines are drawn perfectly. On one side, you have Prospero's defiant yes, a life he's built on pure distraction. You've got the gilded masks, the shining walls, the nonstop frantic dances. It's all an attempt to affirm a beautiful lie. And on the other side, the Red Death's simple, crushing no. The inevitable truth of fate, which the source material calls the spirit of gravity. So what on earth is this spirit of gravity? Well, think of it as exactly what it sounds like, the heavy, inescapable weight of reality. Prospero and his courtiers, they thought they could build their walls high enough to just float above it all. But the Red Death's argument is that reality, it always pulls you back down to earth. You can't escape its pull, no matter how high and mighty your towers are. And this leads us to the Red Death's true identity in his version, the spirit of negation. This isn't about creating chaos, it's about making a correction. It looks at the prince's fortress not as a beacon of life, but as a place of fearful stagnation. Its arrival is that final necessary no that comes to shatter their whole fever dream. Okay, so the party is in full swing inside the abbey. But when the uninvited guest shows up, it's not really an aggressor. In this telling, the Red Death's grand entrance is this moment of just terrifying, but also strangely liberating clarity. This idea is absolutely central. The Red Death sees their nonstop party not as living, but as an exhausting prison of pretense. So its arrival isn't murder, it's a mercy. It's freeing them from the incredibly tiresome job of pretending everything is okay, when it's clearly not. And the famous costume? It's reinterpreted not as a disguise, but as a collection of truths. The figure becomes a walking mirror, reflecting the no they've all been denying. The blood-dabbled robe is their own mortality they've tried so hard to ignore. The mask isn't meant to scare. It's meant to reveal the true face of reality. This isn't an intruder, it's the guest of honor for the one and only honest dance they are ever going to have. But Prince Prospero, he can't accept this. His entire world, his entire identity is built on his fragile yes. So when he's confronted by this absolute, undeniable no, he does the only thing a man like him can do. He gives chase. He literally tries to kill a concept with a dagger. And this chase becomes this frantic, desperate tour of his own magnificent illusion. He flees through the blue room, then the purple, then the green, each one a different stage of the artificial life he built. But with every single step, he's just running out of room, running out of colors, and running out of time. And the chase ends here, in that final black chamber, lit by those blood-red windows. He finally corners his foe. He raises his dagger. But he finds there is no villain to stab. He's just come face to face with the abyss, the one unchangeable truth he spent his entire life trying to outrun. You see, Prospero isn't struck down by a weapon. He is shattered by the mere presence of reality. His entire worldview, his yes, was so brittle that one good look at the truth was enough to completely break him. And when the man falls, the illusion he built, the entire abbey, it all falls with him. So, with the prince gone, only his guests are left. The music dies, the dancing stops, and for the very first time, in that sudden, deafening silence, everyone is forced to confront the truth that's been standing among them all along. Just imagine that moment. The chaotic noise of the party just vanishes and is replaced by this dreadful silence. The terror you see on their faces, it slowly transforms into this still, horrifying acceptance. The party is finally, truly over. In that stillness, all the pretense just dissolves. The exhausting effort to be happy, to feel safe, to deny what's real, It all just falls away. In this sermon's view, they aren't just dying. They are being unburdened from the lie that they had been calling life. All the noise they used to shield themselves, the music, the frantic laughter, it's gone, and it's replaced by an absolute silence. But this isn't just an absence of sound. It's the overwhelming presence of truth, finally filling every single corner of the room. And with that silence, the Red Death declares its dominion. Its kingdom isn't one of death and decay in the way we usually think about it, but a kingdom of absolute, unvarnished reality. The illusion has been vanquished, and now only the truth remains. So what is the final lesson of this incredibly dark sermon? Well, the source material makes its moral chillingly, perfectly clear. The moral is stark, and it's really simple. The ultimate tragedy wasn't their death. It was the life they wasted desperately trying to deny it. The Red Death had spoken its final word, and the struggle was at last over. And that leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question. Prince Prospero built an entire world just to avoid a single terrifying no. And it really makes you wonder, what walls are we building in our own lives? What frantic parties are we throwing just to drown out a difficult truth? What necessary no do we dare not speak to ourselves?